not everyone is going to get along with you. That's something that I've learned. I'm a people pleaser and I try to get along with everybody, but just as I am growing as an adult and in the corporate world, I just learned that I am not always going to get along with everybody. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Nicole and I am so happy you clicked on this video. Alright guys, so in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys a few ways you can handle feedback at work. I am a public accountant, and on my channel, I share with you guys my journey within the public accounting industry. I also do share some lifestyle, fashion, and vlog videos as well. So if you are interested in any of that, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a video. Don't forget to give this video a like, and lastly, don't forget to comment your thoughts down below. Let's get started. Alright guys, so for those of you guys in the public accounting industry, now that busy season is pretty much at an end, this is around the time that you get your review. For some of you, this may be your mid-year review, and for some of you, this may be your year-end review. But typically after busy season, you do get some sort of review. They give you feedback, they let you know where your strong areas are, as well as your weak areas you need to work on, and so forth. So honestly speaking, this busy season was the worst busy season for me. I got more constructive feedback than positive feedback, but you know what? That's okay. That's a part of working in corporate America. You just take these constructive feedback and you learn from it. So first, let's talk about just some of the constructive feedback that you should expect to get, or that you can possibly get. Usually, you guys know, for those of you guys in audit, you are usually working with an engagement team that ranges from a partner all the way to a staff and or intern. And during this time, those who are working with you, especially seniors and above, are really evaluating your work and seeing if you are a contributing asset to that engagement, to that team, and to that audit. One way that you get a review during your engagements is your review points. So as you're going through your work and you're submitting things, there is a level above you or two levels above you that is reviewing your work, and they will usually give you some review comments within the audit file, letting you know questions they have, if they didn't understand your testing, if there's something that you missed, and so forth. So I would just highly recommend that you attack those review comments. Something that I did not do so well was going through my review comments when I should have. It was just kind of hard balancing all that, but I would recommend dedicating an hour of your schedule each day, or a day of the week that you are going to dedicate to going through your review comments, and make sure you just do that on a weekly basis, so that way if anything needs to go back to the client, that's being handled early on. Another way you get feedback from your team or at work is through your career advisor, or sometimes they call it your people consultant. So usually your career advisor will sit down with you and will ask you your thoughts on how you did, ask you who you worked with, and they typically gather feedback from the teams that you work with, and then they kind of weigh all of that and discuss the good things and the bad things. Last way that you get feedback is obviously directly through that manager or through that senior or whoever it is that you're working with. Usually if there is something that they need to tell you right away, they'll go ahead and just schedule time with you and let you know. And sometimes it's also up to you to be proactive and ask for feedback. Typically, what I try to do is ask for feedback after every engagement, right before I'm rolling off, or as I roll off an engagement. I try to do my best to ask for feedback, and usually, especially around busy season, everyone is so busy and caught up with work. it never hurts to just send a couple of follow-up emails and maybe even include your career advisor or your people consultant in the email, just to have some kind of evidence that you did reach out and request feedback. And you can always request feedback to your seniors, to your managers, like, hey, can we take 5 minutes to get a coffee, 10 minutes to get a coffee? Can we have a lunch together? I just want to know what I'm doing well, what I can improve on. And usually for the most part, everyone is pretty good at accepting those kind of invites and talking to you. Those are a few ways for you to receive feedback. But now, how do you handle the feedback that you receive, especially when it's negative feedback? And I would just let you know, typically when you're starting off, you will get more, at least this is my experience from other people I've talked to, you will get more negative feedback, or I guess not negative, you'll get more constructive feedback than positive, just to help you improve on your work and your skills and such. So if you get constructive criticism or constructive feedback, do not feel bad. It's just a part of the job. It comes with it. It's something you signed up for. You just have to kind of take it and see what you can improve on based off of the feedback. If it is something related to your work and your work ethic or your work style, in terms of poor, let's say like poor performance in terms of the work that you're submitting, like spelling mistakes, things of that sort, that is something that you do want to work on, so that for future engagements and moving forward, you can improve on that. But if it is something related to your attitude, or something where personalities are clashing, there are some things that you could just take with a grain of salt, because not everyone is going to get along with you. That's something that I've learned. I'm a people pleaser and I try to get along with everybody, but just as I am growing as an adult and in the corporate world, I just learned that I am not always going to get along with everybody. My personality isn't always going to match with other people, but you just have to learn how to maintain a level of professionalism so that you guys can be cordial in the space and while you're working together, but you don't have to be buddy-buddy with everyone that you work with. Make sure you try to take time to process it, write them down if you can, and figure out a way that you can improve on them. And usually it's best when you get the feedback right after an engagement, so that you can take what you learned from one of your engagements and apply it to the next one, so that you don't make the same mistakes, especially when it comes to more so documenting your work or performing testing or anything like that. But sometimes you have one-offs where you request feedback and no one provides you feedback until the very end, and then you're just kind of like,
well, I've gone through all these months, or 3 months, 4 months of busy season, and no one told me any of this. What am I supposed to do now?
That's okay. You can just use whatever they told you and apply it for the summertime as well, because obviously you're still working in the summertime, and then just make sure that that gets implemented as you progress within obviously your work and within your career. It's not easy, of course, to get negative feedback. However, it's like I said, it comes with the territory. You just kind of have to take it and go and work with it. So another thing is dealing with people who maybe when you ask for feedback, or as you guys are an engagement team, it may seem like everything is going well, and then all of a sudden when it is time for the formal feedback, they have all these negative things to say. Depending on who the person is and how your relationship is, maybe you can go ahead and talk to the person after receiving that constructive feedback. You can maybe go ahead and reach out to them and just voice your concerns and see how moving forward, if there is an issue, that they can just address it directly to you so changes can be made. Sometimes even people that you work with don't necessarily have that courage to say negative things to your face, so they just prefer to write it down and hand it off to your career advisor or even to human resources. and that's just sometimes the nature of the job, people you deal with. Not everyone can be straightforward or upfront, which is perfectly okay because everyone has different styles of communicating. But I think as long as you give it your all, you know, everyone has something to learn. Everybody's always learning. As long as you're not like not doing your work or being super lazy or being absent from your team or from your work, you should be okay. And just use it as a learning opportunity. I know that's something you're gonna hear a lot in the corporate world.
Use this as a learning opportunity.
It sucks, it's not always easy, but you really just have to take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving at the end of the day. I will say, like, don't really be keen to like have to defend yourself 100%. If you're confident in yourself, it's going to speak for you. Just keep a positive attitude and your work and your personality will show for itself. Just write things down. Like what I've done is I've written all the constructive feedback that I've gotten. I've written them down, and then I know that I have a game plan of how to improve throughout my summer months while things are a bit slower, and also make them goals to make sure that I improve upon as well throughout the entire year, so that come next busy season, I am not making the same mistakes. Come next busy season, I am doing better, and just show to my job that, hey, everything you guys have told me, I have pondered upon it. I have created goals around it, so that way that I can improve and show that I want to be here and that I am an asset to the company. And lastly, I'm gonna say this, especially within the accounting world, but this can apply for other careers too. Once you get your feedback, especially once you've gone through as your first year, if you get your feedback and you feel strongly that I don't think this is the job for me, do what is best for you. I know, especially with public accounting, everybody's always like,
no, you need to stay until you're a senior. You need to stay for XYZ amount of years.
No, you do not. You do not need to stay, okay? If it is not for you, it is not for you. Certain professions are not for everyone. Yes, we went to college thinking we wanted to be something, we graduated, we tried it out, and it just does not work out. And that is perfectly okay. I am not a believer that you need to stick it out. No. If you are waking up every day and that job does not make you happy, then no. Obviously, you need to have some kind of backup plan or have some financial backup if you're going to leave your job. However, if you feel like you can give it one more go ahead. But if you are constantly waking up and doubting yourself and questioning or just not enjoying that job, it is not for you, especially with public accounting. I'm just going to say, if you've done one busy season, or if you've gone through it and you just feel like it's too much, that's perfectly okay. I've been there. I felt that way as well. But I do not advise that you just do it just because you have to, or because somebody's telling you that, no, the only way that you're gonna get a better job when you leave is if you stay here for 2 years. That is not true at all. So that is my little spiel on how to handle constructive criticism, how to handle constructive feedback. And of course, they're also going to tell you positive things. So definitely celebrate the positive things too. I'm that person that when I get constructive feedback, I take it very hard on myself. I blame myself and I tend to ask a lot of questions as to why, and really start like beating myself up about it. But I'm slowly learning that, Nicole, that is okay. It's just a part of growth. You need to learn these things now so that in the future you don't make those mistakes, and that's the only way that you're going to move up in the corporate ladder. So let me know your thoughts down below. How do you guys handle constructive feedback? Have you guys gone through any instances where you've gotten constructive feedback? Let me know, and let's have that conversation going in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've gotten this far into the video. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.